TruckDriver101.com. Oh my goodness, is that Ken? Ken once again is doing some beautiful things on TruckDriver101.com. Yes, he is. Welcome, all my people. What's up? Yeah, this is Ken, TruckDriver101.com host. As always, you can go to my website, TruckDriver101.com, TruckDriver101.com, and you can go there and you can get my audio blog, tons of information about truck drivers. We try to help all of my new drivers out there. So, if you're out here in the trucking game and you'd like to know a little bit more and get you some, a little bit more knowledge, if you're new to the game, go to that site. My name is Ken, and I have been in the trucking game for approximately almost a decade. Approximately almost a decade. I like that. Approximately almost. So, basically what this one's about is some good trucking companies. I got asked on my YouTube channel, and I do have a YouTube channel. Go to YouTube/TruckDriver101.com. I got basically asked a question, what good companies are in Michigan? So I'm going to take that question as of like this. When you worry about what kind of company, you need to have some experience, okay? Until you get some real experience, you got about 2-3 years under your belt, at least 2 years or a year. Don't worry about companies. Okay, I know a lot of guys get in the trucking industry. You want to make $100 billion the first week, but it don't work that way. You got to start at the bottom, work your way up. The other thing is, do not accept the idea that you have to not make enough money to live on. All right, I'm telling you to make a little bit less. Make your 20, 30,000, start out, but work 6 months somewhere, at least 6 months, and then start looking at different companies. All right, you got some JB Hunts out here. Yes, JB. I said JB Hunt, boy. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I ain't stutter. I said JB Hunt. You can always go work for JB. All right. Now, JB is an okay company. Just don't expect to be treated like you worth a damn. And then you all right. Now, I'm not saying JB Hunt's a bad company. I'm just being real deal honest with you. Everybody I talk to about JB is a pretty good company that pay you some good amount of money, but you got to deal with some BS. Now, at the same time, you got, on the other hand, you have a company called MSA. Now, MSA is a company that pays drivers by the hour. They're also located in Michigan. I'm not sure where their orientation is. I haven't found anybody who, I haven't gotten around to really talking about that. But what I was impressed by is what they were paying their drivers. Most of the drivers were telling me they're averaging some pretty good paychecks. What you're hauling an enclosed flatbed, and a lot of them were hauling robots and gates. That's mostly what some of the guys say they hauled. They hauled other stuff as well, but that was kind of a mainstay or something that they hauled a lot. They pay you by the hour. One guy told me he was making $17 an hour. But even though he's making that good money, he did leave the company. So, but I thought, from drivers I've talked to so much, they're a pretty good company. You have to have at least 3 years to work for them. You don't have 3 years, you can't work for them. JB Hunt, you have to have at least 6 months. Okay? So, the reason I'm bringing these two companies up kind of willy-nilly so much, but I'm talking about these are good companies that are around Michigan or they're in the Michigan area. Now, MSA is actually in Canton, Michigan. You can go to their website, MSA.com, I believe it is, MSAtrucking.com, I believe it is. And you can check their company out. And I've never heard of, I've talked to a few guys who work for them, and that's always the key, to talk to guys who used to work for a company because they have no reason to give you a BS answer. And I have not heard one bad review. Not one bad review. I've talked to about 4 guys who work for them, okay? A lot of these guys are old timers. I've talked to some guys who are young, but even though they're young, they got some years in the game, years of trucking. But for the most part, I've heard nothing but good stories. Another company I would go out there and say is a good company, not located in Michigan, is KB Transport. If you want to learn a lot about KB, you can go online to YouTube and type in my boy. I don't have his YouTube channel handy right now, but his YouTube channel, his name is Abe. Abe, I'm going to look it up real quick. But Abe is a truck driver. He does YouTube videos like I do YouTube videos. I do YouTube videos probably about 3. I try to do about 100 a year. So I try to do quite a few YouTube videos a week. But if you go on Abe's YouTube channel, I'm trying to bring it up here on my phone. But I'm gonna pause it real quick. Hold on. Hey guys, Truck Driver 101 back again as always. But sorry for the little break there. But we got Abe's channel. Abe's channel is BADBLK360RT. I believe that is his channel's name. I have no idea what the hell that says, but yeah, BADBLK360RTOO. That's his channel's name. Bottom line is, Abe works at KB Transport. KB Transport is located out of Iowa. They are a pretty good company. But KB Transport does require you to have, I believe, a year. All right, so there is no game with that. Now, if you notice, all the companies I just named, including JB Hunt, they all require experience. No one's going to pay someone who might blow up their truck good money. They're not going to do it, guys. They're not going to do it. No one's going to pay you good money until you prove yourself. Now, there are companies like Warner and Snyder and Swift that'll hire you, and there are positions in those companies that you can get to where you're making some good money. I did when I was at Warner. I used to do the General Mills refrigerated account. I made great money, but they lost the account. That's one of the realities of being with a first-time employee company when they get a good dedicated. Now you go to some of these other companies. Some of them are just like the MSA is an over-the-road company. MSA is, they're straight up over the road. So their income is not really dependent on one account. And that's a good thing for you if you want to make money. But the other part is you got to realize all companies can have changes happen where you're not making the same amount of money. You always got to be, I don't care if you're not in trucking. Any company can change overnight. It's not up to you. Unless you own the business, you can't say they won't change. And even if you own the business, you can't say the customers that you have won't walk away from you. So you have to live in reality, okay? You cannot live in a fantasy world where change does not happen. Change always freaking happens, okay? So learn to adapt. Learn to deal with the fact that things will change. Expect change. Go work for a company. After you work for your new company and you want to make a little bit more money, right? Expect to go through a lot of change. Like if you want to go with MSA, you got to be willing to go to New York City. You got to be willing to go anywhere in the country. And if you're not willing to do that, people aren't going to deal with you. Yeah, you got to wake up and understand something, guys. There was a guy at our company, and this is another thing I'm going to talk about in the next podcast, but there's a guy at our company who was brand new, and he was a little upset that he was getting routed on a trip, and there was a guy who was an experienced driver, a rookie, and the rookie was getting this home every night account, and he wasn't getting that account. He was pissed off. And the guy was so angry. He was like, why are they doing this to me? I got experience. Well, they're doing it because you filled out the application without doing research. You didn't look into that company. Even though I'm telling you about these companies, you need to look into them and see if they're going to be the type of company you want to work for. Because here's the thing. The reason we at this company, sometimes they do that, is because all companies are based on what's going on at the moment. When that young guy graduated from trucking school, he started out with a good account. I did the same thing. When I graduated from trucking school, I started out with a good account. Why? Because at that point, we had just gotten General Mills refrigerated account, and all of a sudden, we needed drivers. Right? So they didn't care if I had 2 weeks experience or a year and a half experience. They needed drivers. They needed asses in the seat. And this is the problem with a lot of guys in trucking. Experience does count with companies that require experience. But once you're in the company, it's all up to you to create the opportunities. But if you go to a company where they don't require experience, don't be surprised if some rookie driver who's more motivated, more dedicated, more focused on getting somebody, or just came in at the right time. I mean, not getting somebody, but getting a job. And, he came in at the right time. He jumped into the right seat, and he's making good money. Stop trying to knock other people down and accept the reality that you have to come in with the same mentality. Treat it like you're a rookie, like you don't know nothing. And then come into the industry, even if you got experience, you go to a company, you treat it like you know nothing and that you're old nothing and you have to prove yourself. And once you prove yourself, once you've done that 6 months to a year, leave if you're not making good money. Let me repeat that. Leave. Companies don't owe you shit. Let me repeat that. Excuse me for the cursing for those who are minded, but companies don't owe you shit. I mean, I've said this a million times. They don't. And you can complain, bitch, moan, whine, cry, and you still will not get the money that you want. The only way to get a company that respects you is to go to a company that, one, requires some experience, right? And two, you go there and you're always prepared to leave because you don't control that company. That's just real. You want to know why? I've always said is poverty is a choice. You know why poverty is a choice? Because most people don't want to do the tough stuff to get out of poverty. Some of us want to be the boss, but you don't want to work 16 hours a day. Some of us want to make $1 million, but you don't want to change and read and grow to do something for someone to make $1 million. You want to be something, you got to go through something and become something. If you don't want something, then become nothing, because people who don't have things always have become nothing. Okay, and what I mean by that is becoming a truck driver isn't getting a CDL. Becoming a truck driver is doing the job with a high level of success for a long period of time. Let me repeat that. Doing the job with a high level of success for a long period of time. Right. If you can't do that, then you will not be successful in anything you do. Let me repeat that. You will not be successful in anything you do. Yep, I said it. Anything you do. So don't lie to yourself thinking, oh no, I'll be successful in. No, you won't. You will eventually fail because your success is not based on what people give you, what people allow you to earn at their company. Your success is based on your ability to be replaced at any given time. You can't control if there's somebody better than you down the street. But you can control your ability to move on, which basically means if I know that there's 15 jobs that will pay me $18 an hour and I can always move on, and they hire somebody and that person can do my job and someone else's job at the same time, the company's going to do the best thing for their interests and they're going to fire my ass. But I know where there's all these other companies that are willing to pay me some good money per hour. So guess what, guys? I'm out. Peace. That's the mentality you have to have. A person with that mentality can always win. That's just a fact, whether you're in trucking or not in trucking. All right, guys, that's what I wanted to talk about. You can go to my YouTube site, check out truckdriver101.com, or you can go to YouTube truckdriver101.com, and you can see my YouTube site that I update, like I said, usually once a week or sometimes 10 times in a month, depending on what I feel like doing. This month will probably be a massive upload. I'm planning, and I'm going to get to doing some interviews. I keep saying I'm going to do them, and I know, but I'm going to. And you can also get my book, my audio book that helps guys get into trucking. It's basically a breakdown of all the stuff you need to know when you get in, and you can get that at the bottom of all my new videos. It's a link down at the bottom. It only costs $2.99, $2.99. Same price you would pay if it was a regular book on Kindle. All right, guys, truckdriver101.com. Do-do-do-do.